back on the field. And it's a poor punt by De Anza, and it will roll out of bounds around the 27, 28-yard line. And this is where Contra Costa will come out and start their offense. And as I mentioned earlier, Contra Costa has had opportunities to score. They have been in the red zone on several occasions, but self-inflicted wounds has denied them opportunities to score all afternoon.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 7.
So an unsportsmanlike conduct
penalty for purpose of disqualification
against De Anza, that's number 7, and that's receiver Terrence Colvin, folks. Contra Costa will get an opportunity to start their offense on their own 40-yard line, trailing by 21, their opening drive of the second half. So Contra Costa, Lee, back to pass, quick screen to Jackson, and he'll be ran out of bounds. So Contra Costa likes to quick screen to Jackson and like to get him started early. As Jackson, as you recall, made a circus catch in the second quarter. As he high-pointed the football, was able to bring it down at the 10-yard line on a 3rd and 15. And it looked as though Contra Costa had an opportunity to score, but a couple of penalties pushed them back, and to no avail. They was not able to get any points on the board. So as Lee flushed out of the pocket again, Lee running for his life, throws it complete to Tyreek Owens, and Owens, we brought down close to the first down. So nice job by Riley Lee to escape the rush. Showed his athleticism. As you can see here, there's Lee. Flushed out, had it in the left hand, and finds Owens for the completion. So now it's 3rd and short. Again, Contra Costa needs to stay ahead of the sticks. De Anza brings a blitz, and they read that play from the beginning. They ran a run blitz, and that was by Walter Peters, was in the backfield. The same time the handoff was made from Riley Lee to Stephen Harvey, and Contra Costa again lets an opportunity slip through their hands, as the punt now will be made by Jarvis Kyle, double duty Kyle, who also is the starting tight end as well. Actually, Kyle runs, and he has room in front of him. He's rumbling down to the 27-yard line. So the 33-yard line, nice job by Kyle Jarvis to recognize, and he just took off. I don't know if it was a design run, but he's seen something and went for it, and that's what Contra Costa need. They need a big play. And their sophomore tight end out of Antioch High School said, I'm going to make one. 20-yard gain. That gives Contra Costa an opportunity as they now move into De Anza's territory. Quick pitch to Harvey over the right side, and that will be a short gain. But again, as I mentioned earlier, Contra Costa has been in the red zone throughout the afternoon, but have not been able to convert. So that was a nice job by Kyle Jarvis to give Contra Costa more opportunities to score, to get on the board. That's Owens at the bottom of the screen, Jackson at the top of the screen. De Anza shows blitz. Lee, incomplete pass as he was targeting Kyrie Jackson. So De Anza brought blitz up the middle, and Lee got rid of it a bit early. So now it will be 3rd down and 9 at the 32-yard line. So I would imagine at this point this has to be 4 down territory because they're too far to kick a field goal and they're too short to punt. So this has to be 4 down territory. So Lee doesn't have to get it all right here. So I would like to see Lee on the move here, roll the pocket, give him an opportunity. And it's a delay of game on Contra Costa. So these are the penalties that are putting Contra Costa in a very difficult situation. So that'll move the ball back an additional 5 yards. So now it's 3rd and 14. So 3rd down and 14 for Riley Lee in the offense of Contra Costa. I'm sure Coach Pat Henderson cannot be happy about that delay of game. So again, I do believe, well, with that penalty, it may not be 4 down territory now, but let's see what Lee is able to do here. Deanza brings the blitz. Lee on the move, throws it, and it's complete to number 14. It's Kyrie Jackson, but a penalty by the official, Jerry Robinson. Usually that's in the neighborhood of either a hold or a personal foul. And it will be holding.
10 yards.
And it'll be 10 yards, and Coach Tony Santos will take that penalty and push Contra Costa back an additional 10 yards. So a once promising drive turns to 3rd down and 24 on Deanza's 47-yard line. So after Jarvis was able to fake the punt and rumble to the 37-yard line, Contra Costa has gone backwards since. So 3rd down and 24. Lee in the gun, 2-back set. Lee back to pass, screen. Deanza reads it. Lee flushed out, throws it, almost intercepted. A penalty on the play. So we'll see if there's going to be some sort of interference. But Deanza read that screen all the way around, and it may be an interference. They read to see Lee jumps out of the pocket, makes the pass attempt to Cato, and it looks as though it will be some sort of holding on the defense. So that would be an automatic 1st down. So Contra Costa was able to avoid disaster there. So now they'll get another fresh set of downs, trailing by 21. So we're going to start all over again. Contra Costa on Deanza's side of the field, trailing by 21. The 37-yard line. So Contra Costa has new life. Lee back to pass. Screen to Harvey. Avoids a man, and he will be brought down. But then again, there's another penalty on the field, and that's thrown by, again, Jerry Robinson, the referee. And it looks as though Contra Costa is pointing towards Deanza.
Personal foul. Defense.
So a personal foul.
Hands to the face. 15 yards. Automatic.
97 hands to the face. So anytime you see Jerry Robinson make a call, it's either going to be a holding or some sort of personal foul. So Contra Costa again has new life. You can see Harvey was able to avoid a man. Now Contra Costa is deep. They're in the red zone of Deanza. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line, trailing by 21. Lee throws it high. He was targeting number 18, Tariq Owens. Deanza ran a 2-deep zone, so Lee had to throw it over the cornerback that was sitting in the flat. If not, that could have been an interception. So 2nd down and 10. Contra Costa is in dire need of a touchdown. Lee in the gun. Lee Back to pass, slant across the middle, caught and broken up as Owens made the initial catch, but was separated from the football. That would have been a nice pitch and catch to lead Owens as Owens steps off the field, but you can see here, quick slant inside. And Owens was hit by that man again, DJ LaShalle. He's been laying the wood all afternoon long, the sophomore from Vegas. So 3rd down and 10 at the 22nd yard line. Lee back. Throws it in the end zone, and it should be interference, and it is, as the pass was intended to the big tight end, Kyle Jarvis, and so that will be a penalty as Lee found Kyle Jarvis across the middle, and he was hit early. That's by number 22, DJ LaShalle, and he'll be called for that interference.
22 defense.
So Contra Costa now will be their 2nd time of the afternoon inside of the 10-yard line. The first time didn't bode too well for Contra Costa, but this time they need to get some points on the board to get right back in this football game, trailing by 21. 9:14 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Contra Costa trails to the number 1 team in the conference, 21-0. Lee hands the ball to Harvey over the left side, and he will scamper into the end zone. So touchdown, Contra Costa. At the 9:09 mark in the 3rd quarter, Harvey goes in untouched for a 6-yard touchdown. Depending on the extra point, Contra Costa jumps right back in this football game, trailing by 21-6. So this time inside the red zone, Contra Costa has pay dirt as they're able to score and they jump right back in this football game. Again, their defense has done a decent job all afternoon long, and Lee with that point after is up and good. So Contra Costa gets right back in this football game with their first drive to score. So now it's 21-7. The Comets of Contra Costa is back in this football game. So again, if Contra Costa defense can step up as they have been all afternoon and avoid the big play, offensively they've been able to move the ball throughout the day. They just have not been able to capitalize while in the red zone. So 21-7 now, Contra Costa trails the visiting Dons of De Anza College. So Riley Lee, quarterback, has kicking responsibilities as well, was able to nail that point after attempt. Get right back in his football game, so let's see. But it all started by number 15, Kyle Jarvis, the fake punt. Contra Costa was able to keep the drive alive, and Contra Costa almost was able to recover the kickoff. So now De Anza will have to answer. Contra Costa's goal at this point is to get their defense off the field, get their offense on, and see if they can create some more excitement here in San Pablo, California. Beautiful day for football. My name is Joaquin Wallace, and this is Bay Area Sports TV covering this junior college conference matchup between the visiting Dons of De Anza College against the home team, Comets of Contra Costa. Empty set, and it's a fake handoff, and that was Eduardo Andrade as the quarterback. So Oliver Seversky wasn't in on that drive. And so again, I'm sure Seversky may be hurt because that last drive he was hammered by Lauren Jr. Calhoun, and he has yet to return. So they have Andrade in the game, and Andrade hands the ball, fakes the handoff again up the middle. So there's a distinct difference between the two, between Andrade and Seversky. Andrade's more of the running quarterback, where Seversky is more of the passing quarterback. As you can see here, Andrade fakes the sweep, keeps it, and rumbles up the middle for another first down. So that's Andrade again. Empty set. 5 receivers. I have yet to see Andrade attempt to pass so far. Andrade back to pass. Throws it downfield. Has a man open. And overthrows his receiver, Bruce Jones. He had Jones, who had a step. Was not able to convert. So it will be second down and 10. And the Dons are in Contra Costa territory. They're on the logo, the 45-yard line. So Andrade is still in the game. The quarterback, 6'2" sophomore out of Wilcox High School in Santa Clara. Andrade hands the ball off, and it will be a first down. And that's to their big back. That's Javon Stearns, who rumbles for a first down, and DeAnza gets right back to the line of scrimmage. First down and 10 at the 34-yard line. Andrade fakes the handoff to Stearns, and Andrade rumbles up the middle again. So the run-pass option, Stearns is doing a great job of faking as though he's getting the ball, but Andrade is reading the defense extremely well. That's the second time he's been able to go up the middle for a large gain. So it's first and 10. Andrade back to pass, throws it into the end zone, has a man open, almost intercepted. And that was Trevante Daniels on the coverage. So it will be second down and 10. So what you lose is when Seversky's not in the game is 330 yards passing. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns this afternoon, moving his total up to 13 for the year. That's what you're missing. But with Andrade in the game, they pose a different problem. He's able to run the run-pass option offense, hands the ball off to Stearns over the left side, and he was met, but not before he gets another first down. So it will be first down and goal for DeAnza. And they run their offense back to the line of scrimmage. It's a sense of urgency now for DeAnza. Different tempo when Andrade's in the game. 4 receivers set. Andrade under center, hands the ball off to Stearns, and he breaks a couple of tackles. And he'll be dragged down just over the line of scrimmage. And it will be second down. We have a player down on the field. So we'll take a timeout. Comets trail 21-7. Bay Area Sports TV. Welcome back to San Pablo VallejoSports TV. Second down and goal for the Dons of De Anza. Thomas trail 21-7. Andrade back in the gun. Steps up in the pocket. Flushed out. Runs, and he'll be met and just short of the 5-yard line. So it will be third down and goal. As Andrade didn't have any receivers open, so he decided to use his legs and was met by a host of Comets, making it third down and goal at the 5-yard line of Contra Costa. So third and goal, the 5-yard line, I formation, 1 receiver, 2 tight ends, and a penalty, and it will be a delay of game
Number 5 yards.
by De Anza, so that will push them back 5 additional yards. So it will be third down and goal at the 10-yard line. So here's an opportunity for the defense of Contra Costa to make a big play, to force De Anza to kick a field goal, or better yet, if Contra Costa can get a turnover and get the ball back. So third down and goal at the 10-yard line, 4 receivers set. Andrade in the gun, Stearns to his left. Andrade back to pass, throws it in the end zone, and juggled and incomplete. He had his man Bruce Jones open, but it went through the hands, so Contra Costa was able to avoid a touchdown there. So it forces De Anza to kick a field goal, but he had his man open. And I'm speaking of Bruce Jones, as Andrade put it on the money. So now it will be a field goal attempt by Ozzie Ortiz. This will be a 27-yard field goal attempt. Bad snap. Ortiz kicks it, and it is good. So Andrade was able to put it down. And the 5:16 mark.
Timeout with 5:16 left.
De Anza was able to come away with some points for a 27-yard field goal to take a 24-7 lead here in San Pablo, California. So you can tell it was a sense of urgency for De Anza after Contra Costa scored. So that's Ortiz's first field goal attempt of the game. And it was good. So Contra Costa again has an opportunity. And I'm sure the coaching staff, I'm speaking of Pat Henderson and his staff, can take something away from this defensive effort, because they've held the #1 team in conference in check outside of a few big plays all afternoon long. So here's Ortiz with the kick, and it will be taken by Jackson at the 2-yard line, and he has room over the right side, breaks a couple of tackles, and he'll be dragged down out of bounds just short of the 20-yard line, and it looks as though Contra Costa will take over at their own 19-yard line, trailing 24-7. 5:06 remaining in the third quarter. Comets trail 24-7 to the #1 team in the conference, the Dons of De Anza.
First and 10.
So it's 1st and 10. Riley has a conversation with his receiver.
First and 10 at the 19.
Riley back to pass, a middle screen, and Be dragged down for a gain of a couple. And that's to number 14 again. Kyrie Jackson brought down by Ravi Sahois Ravi. Receiver plays defense as well from Dougherty Valley, San Ramon, California. So Coach Henderson, his team is over the sideline. They thought it was an injury, but it was not. The play clock is running. So second down and 5. The middle screen from
24, second and 5.
Kyrie Jackson. 3 receiver set for Owens and his crew. Lee receives the snap, back to pass, makes the pass, and it's complete but dropped by number 32. And what I mean by drop, the defense dropped number 32, and that was Harvey, and that was a loss. So that pushes the ball back. It was a loss of 5. So now it's 3rd and long. So they had a play that was positive. They come right back with another one of those quick screens that was a negative play. So now it's 3rd and long. They're back at the 19-yard line. Lee throws it downfield, has a man open. 40, 30, 20, 10, touchdown Comets. 80-yard completion, Kyrie Jackson for Riley Lee. So just like that, Contra Costa's back in the game, and Jackson was wide open. It was blown coverage by number 21. That's James Amara. Looked like he was looking for help over the top, but no one was there. And at the 3:35 mark, Riley Lee throws his 2nd touchdown of the year, an 80-yarder to Kyrie Jackson. And Contra Costa is in this football game as Lee is able to convert the extra point. And so at 3:35 remaining in the 3rd quarter, Contra Costa, with their 2nd score of the 2nd half, jumps right back in his football game, trailing by 10. So Riley Lee, with his 2nd touchdown pass of the year, this one of 80 yards. As you can see here, Jackson was wide open as there was no coverage on the back end. And Jackson, their playmaker, was able to score his touchdown. And that's the 3rd touchdown of the year for Kyrie Jackson. And the Comets are right back in this football game. Trailing 24-14. So again, Contra Costa defense has not been bad. They need to force another 3 and out. Lee with the kick. And that's Kashawn McLeod. He'll be dragged down by number 36. And that's Chris Shackles. So Contra Costa, the momentum is beginning to change. Back in the game at quarterback again is Andrade. So obviously something's going on with Oliver Seversky, because he has not been in since he took that shot by number 22, Tyreek James. So there it is again. The difference between Seversky and Andrade is more of the running variety. And he's showing his will here for another 15-yard gain. They get right back to the line of scrimmage again. Contra Costa needs a big play defensively to get their defense off the field because they're starting to look fatigued. Andrade in the gun, 5 receivers set, quick screen to the freshman. And that's Jones again, and he will be short of the first down, but 2nd down and 3. Nice 7-8 yard gain on first down. As you can see, De Anza is definitely picking up the tempo. So empty set again for Andrade. Sends a man in motion. Fakes the fly sweep and keeps it. And he will be dragged down short of the first down. So it will be 3rd down and short as he faked the fly sweep to Johnny Beard and kept it. Tried to get over the right side, but Contra Costa was there waiting for him. So now it's 3rd down and short. So there's a lot of energy in the stadium now, as Contra Costa feels that they have an opportunity to upset the #1 team in the conference. So 3rd and short. Empty set. Andrade back to pass. No, it's Stravinsky back in. He comes right in, makes a completion. And it's 15, 5. And dragged down at the 4-yard line. So Stravinsky comes back in the game. And who did he hit? Eduardo Andrade, the quarterback, for a nice gain. So Stravinsky comes in the game and is able to find Andrade, who was the quarterback earlier, for a nice gain. So just like that, De Anza is inside the 5-yard line with a chance to score. So Stravinsky comes into the game and finds Andrade, but now Andrade's back in the game and Stravinsky's on the bench. Andrade on the center, and it will be a timeout. And it is. It's a timeout on the field for De Anza. The first timeout of the second half. But that was a weird type of alignment there. They had Andrade in the game, and they snuck in Stravinsky on a 3rd and short, and he was able to find Andrade, the quarterback / wide receiver, for a nice gain, and he was able to get it down to the 3-yard line. Stravinsky's out of the game. They bring back Andrade. They rush him up to the line of scrimmage, and De Anza calls timeout. So it will be 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. Inside of Contra Costa's 3-yard line. I formation, 2 tight ends. Hand off to Stearns over the right side, and he'll power into the end zone for a touchdown. So De Anza comes right back. Stearns 3-yard out. We have a penalty on the field. So unsportsmanlike conduct on De Anza for taunting at the 1:06 mark in the 3rd quarter. As Stearns over the right side. Depending on the PAT, De Anza would jump up 14-31. Take a 17-point lead with a minute remaining in the 3rd quarter. And the point after is up and good. So that's Ortiz again. And just like that, after answering Contra Costa's score, De Anza comes right back. The score of their own to extend their lead to 17 at the 1:06 mark in the 3rd quarter. So 1:06 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Contra Costa trails 31-14. that was one of those opportunities where Contra Costa was trying to get their defense off the field, and they had a third down and short. And Seversky, who hasn't played in the second half, came in and found Andrade, the quarterback who replaced him, for a hefty gain to get it inside the 5-yard line. And then they hand the ball off to Stearns. He was able to go over and score. And that was Stearns' second touchdown of the season, as he came in averaging 4.5 yards per carry, 76 yards per game. So let's see if Contra Costa can answer back the score to get back in this game. 2 weekends in a row where Contra Costa is able to score 14 points. So offensively, they are improving somewhat. And that's Jackson with the short kickoff, and he'll be dragged out of bounds the 35-yard line, and that's where Contra Costa would take over. 1st and 10. So Contra Costa has an opportunity to answer that score. As you recall, Riley Lee was able to connect with Kyrie Jackson on his longest touchdown of the season for both of 80 yards. The second touchdown of the year thrown by Riley Lee. And the third touchdown of the year caught by Kyrie Jackson. So 1st and 10, Contra Costa's own 37-yard line. That's Jackson in motion. Hands the ball off on the fly sweep, and he'll be dragged down for no gain. And it will be 2nd down and 10. So from the opening possession by Contra Costa, their main goal this afternoon was to get Kyrie Jackson involved in the game, and you have to say he has answered the bell with well over 100 yards receiving this afternoon. Lee. Quick pass and complete to Ahmad Moody. And the referees are saying it's incomplete. Moody was not able to gain possession. So they're saying no possession on the catch. So 3rd down. And Contra Costa is somewhat confused now. So 3rd and 9 at their own 37-yard line, trailing by 17. 23 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Lee, pass, complete and dropped. So the pass was initially completed to the big tight end, Kyle Jarvis, but he was not able to hang on. And Contra Costa will have to punt and give the ball right back to Dianza. And this should be the last play of the 3rd quarter. So 18 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Kyle Jarvis, the left-handed punter, tight end who also serves as the punter as well, a left-footed punter. Last time, remember, he took off and ran for the 1st down. And Contra Costa would down the ball at the 36-yard line. So 11 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Dianza has a chance to put some more points on the board. 31-14. 11 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. And let's see who Dianza trots out at the quarterback position. So it looks as though it's the sophomore Andrade again. So he looks like he's taken over in the second half of this game. Andrade sends a man in motion, hands the ball off. So that's to number 8 for a short gain. That's Sermons, who's approaching 100 yards as well. 71 of those was on the second play of the game. And that will be the end of the third quarter. Comets trail 31-14. We'll be back to San Pablo right after this.
Erica isn't famous, but she had her order brought to her car using mobile order and pay. So now she feels like she is. Order like you're famous with the McDonald's app. Order on your time, pick up on your terms.
Welcome back to Contra Costa, Bay Area Sports TV, and Drade fly sweep, and that's to Johnny Beard, and he'll be dragged down for a short gain. So Contra Costa trails 31-14. The visiting Dons, who come in with a record of 2-0 in conference, 4-1 overall. Winners of their last 4 games. And Drade in the gun, 3-receiver set. And Drade takes off. Up the middle again. That's Andrade. Ran out of bounds, but it will be brought back because that man, Jerry Robinson, threw his flag. So let's see what referee Jerry Robinson has to say. Most likely some sort of holding. And again, it is a holding. That'll push that run back to no avail. Another 10 yards. So Deanza. There's Andrade again. Design run. He ran out of bounds.
Holding penalty for correction. Against Deanza, move the ball back to the 36.
So this is where Contra Costa has to make Deanza pay. Seversky back in the game, throws it downfield, wide open. Is Cortland Brooks. So Brooks was wide open. Again, Seversky comes in and makes a 20-yard completion there. Seversky again steps up in the pocket, and wide open on the other side of the field was Cortland Brooks, their big play receiver. So it will be first down. Seversky stays in the game at quarterback. Seversky back to pass, steps up in the pocket, avoids a rush. Running downfield, asking for blockers, and he will be dragged down. So Seversky got out of the pocket, and he was pointing to Nicholas Sermon and said, hey, just don't stand there, block somebody. As you can see here, there's Seversky, and he's running, say, hey, go block that guy. And so that's what he does, and Seversky was able to rumble down for a first down. So they're at the 21-yard line. So there goes Seversky again. Now he's back in the game, and there's Sermon. So they're using this 2-quarterback set with both Seversky and Andrade.
First and 10 at the 21.
Seversky rolls to his right, flushed out of the pocket, and he will throw it out of bounds. So Seversky throws it out of bounds. Nice pressure by number 47. That's Rashawn Francois. Francois is a sophomore defensive lineman, 6 feet 230 from El Cerrito High School here in the Bay Area. So 2nd and 10 at the 21-yard line. Comets trail by 17. 12:57 remaining in the game. 31-14. It's Andrade back in the game at quarterback. Quick middle screen, and that will be incomplete. So that middle screen to Bruce Jones, the receiver who has had a big game as well. Andrade pass was short, so it will be 2nd down. Actually 3rd and 10 at the 21-yard line. There's head coach Tony Santos, 3rd year with the program. 12 years at De Anza, 3rd year as the head coach at De Anza. Andrade, 5 receiver, empty set. Receives the snap. Has plenty of time. Flushes around the pocket. Moves to his left. Throws it and almost intercepted as he threw in the coverage. That was Javon Sewell, who had an opportunity for an interception. You can see here, Andrade had a lot of time. Moves around and throws an ill-advised pass. And that was Sewell coming into the picture. Was not able to corral it. So it will be 4th down and 10 at the 21-yard line. And they send in their field goal kicker, Ozzie Ortiz, who connected earlier on 27 yards in the 3rd quarter. So he's 1 for 1 for field goal attempts this afternoon. There's a snap. Andrade gets it down, and it is good. So a 38-yard field goal for Ortiz. And De Anza tacks on another 3. So they'll take the lead 34-14. And we'll take a quick timeout as well. We'll be back to San Pablo right after this.
McDonald's new fresh beef quarter pounder has left Maria speechless, so here's Luis Fonsi to speak for her.
It's hotter.
Welcome back to San Pablo. Contra Costa trails 34-14. That's Ortiz with the kick. That's Jackson with it over the right side. Reverses field. And he will be forced out of bounds at the 22-yard line. So Ortiz is 2 for 2 on field goals this afternoon. At the 12:44 mark, he's able to knock one down, his 2nd field goal of 38 yards. So he's been able to connect from 27 and 38. And De Anza has all facets of the game working this afternoon. Coaches often say there's 3 phases to the game: offense, defense, and special teams. And De Anza has been able to check the box in all 3 of those. 1st and 10, Riley Lee with the fake fly sweep and tries to hit his man, number 14, Kyrie Jackson. But that play was well read by De Anza, as they've seen that before. As you recall, Lee was able to hit Jackson for an 80-yard touchdown pass at the 3:35 mark of the 3rd quarter to get right back in his football game. But since then, De Anza has been able to answer with 10 consecutive points. Lee makes the pass and dropped by Jarvis. That's the 2nd drop by Jarvis this afternoon. He had one earlier in the third quarter. Then he comes right back with another drop. As Lee hit him right in the hands, he was just not able to haul it in. So now it's 3rd and 10 at their own 23-yard line, trailing by 20, 14-34, 11:52 remaining in this conference matchup between the Dons, the visiting Dons, and the home team Comets. Lee flushed out of the pocket, rolls right, throws it downfield, ill-advised pass, and again he had Jarvis, and Jarvis was not able to haul it in, and that would have been a first down as Lee was able to avoid the rush and put it to only his guy can get it. As you can see here, Lee flushed out of the pocket and put it where nobody can get it but Jarvis, but that's his 3rd target and 3rd drop of the afternoon. That could have been a first down to keep the sticks moving. But as a result, it's 4th down and 10. And Jarvis now has to punt. And the punt will be downed at the 47-yard line of Contra Costa. And so De Anza will have a short field to work with as they have the decisive lead of 20 points thus far, 34-14, with 11:36 remaining in the 4th quarter. Remember, next week, Contra Costa travels to Los Medanos, while De Anza has a non-conference matchup against Monterey Peninsula. Contra Costa's next home game will be against Foothill the 27th of this month. Some problems with the handoff as Andrade was not able to get the ball to his scat back number 8. That's Sermons. As you can see here, Andrade receives a snap and just was not able to contain the football. He did the best thing and just fell on it. Loss of 5. So 2nd down and 15. 11 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Comets trail by 20. Brooks in motion. Andrade hands off the Sermon over the right side. A game-saving tackle by number 13. And that's Quadri Wesley, because Sermon had room to run. If he was able to make Quadri miss. That was a similar play when they opened up the first quarter. A little counter tray action. And he took it for 70 yards to open the game. Now Andrade is subbed out for equipment. You bring in Seversky, who's had a big game as well, has thrown for 2 touchdowns. Seversky back to pass, and he comes right out throwing and complete to number 7, Terrence Colvin. So Seversky comes into the game, and a 20-yard completion to Colvin. There's Seversky in the gun. As you can see, finds Colvin, who beat the linebacker and was able to get a first down. So 1st and 10, Seversky in the gun again. Throws it to the corner of the end zone, and he had a man open. And that was to Johnny Beard. And it looks as though at this point, Contra Costa defense is dragging, as they've been on the field a long time this afternoon. And as you recall, De Anza averages 36 points a game, and they're 2 points away from their average, and they just wear you down. They could beat you on the run, they could beat you with the pass, and they have an excellent special teams kicker as well, so they just get points. Contra Costa gives up a total of 45 points a game. That's Seversky again, throws it downfield, and ill-advised pass as he threw it into coverage and was broken up by number 17, Jalen Phelps. as Seversky was trying to find Bruce Jones running down in the seam. Now Seversky checks back out of the game. And now you bring in the sophomore, Eduardo Andrade. He comes back in the game. Sophomore at Wilcox High School in Santa Clara, California. And he's had a big game as well, both receiving and at the quarterback position. Andrade takes off, design run up the middle, and he will be brought down just short of the first down. So it will be 4th down and short. 4th and 6, it looks like. See, Andrade again, actually it's 4th and 3. Andrade, a design run, takes it up the middle, and the official spots it. It will be 4th down and 1. And Andrade is limping somewhat, but again, he's had a big game as a receiver and as the quarterback. Contra Costa shows blitz. Andrade back to pass. Throws it into the end zone. Has a man open, and it is complete. Touchdown to Johnny Beard. And Andrade with his first touchdown of the game as well. And so that's a touchdown for Andrade to Beard. An 18-yard touchdown, defending the field goal. The 8:50 mark of the 4th quarter. And now De Anza has reached 40 points. And we'll take a timeout as well. We'll return back to San Pablo. Comets trail 14-40. Welcome back to San Pablo on the campus of Contra Costa College. Andrade with his first touchdown of the day to Beard. 18-yard touchdown. Pushed the lead to 40-14, and the point after is good by Ortiz. He's been solid all afternoon long, and that pushed the lead to 41-14. So at one point in the game, Contra Costa was trailing 24-14. But since then, De Anza has rattled off 17 consecutive points to take control of this football game. 41-14. So it looks as though De Anza will stay atop of the Pacific American Conference, improving to 3-0. Well, Contra Costa will fall to 0-2 and 0-7 overall, 0-2 in conference. Contra Costa has showed signs this afternoon of improving each and every game. And there's Jackson who retrieves the punt, and he will be dragged down at the 27-yard line, and that's where Contra Costa will take over. So Contra Costa, 8:44 remaining in the 4th quarter, trails the visiting Dons 41-14. So Riley Lee back on the field as a quarterback. Riley Lee today has shown some promise. Made some quality passes, his longest touchdown pass of his young career of 80 yards. Kyrie Jackson earlier. Sends a man in motion, fakes the fly sweep, has a man open, underthrows his receiver. It was nearly picked off by Darrell Carson as he undercut the pass as Riley Lee faked the fly sweep and tried to hit Jackson, but that could have been an interception. So it will be 2nd and 10. Riley Lee is fortunate that was not intercepted. Again, here's the fly sweep. Hands the ball off. The ball's on the ground. And it looks as though it was fumbled. And Contra Costa was able to recover. That could have been disastrous. As Kidd had it. Here's the fake the fly sweep again. There's Kidd. It was knocked out. It was recovered by Contra Costa. So 8:12 remaining in the third quarter, 3rd and 11. Lee. Blitz by Deanza. Lee throws it, and it throws it to Deanza, number 26, as he overthrew Jackson. And it will be returned for a short game. But that's Darrell Carson, who missed one earlier, but he didn't miss one that time. He was able to intercept Riley Lee, and that's the first turnover of the game for the Comets. As you can see, Lee goes right back to Jackson, and he overthrew, and Jackson just quit on the play, it looks like. And Carson just kept it. He missed the first one, but he didn't miss that one. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. And that time he was not fooled on that play. He was able to take that interception. They're in business at Contra Costa's 26-yard line. It's a handoff, and they have new personnel in the game. That's Nicholas Mesmer, freshman out of Chicago. So Deanza is well in control of this game. There's another injured player on the field for Contra Costa. And we'll take a break as well. We'll be back to San Pablo. Comets trail Deanza, 41-14.
I know a thing or two about chicken, and I love these new honey barbecue glazed tenders. Maybe because they're sweet, like me. He's just gonna love this.
Adorbs.
Or maybe because they're spicy, like me.
Thank you for the sweater.
You're welcome.
Introducing McDonald's Sweet and Spicy Honey Barbecue Glazed Tenders. Made with all white meat chicken, hand-tossed and glazed to order. They're the perfect combination of sweet and spicy, just like Grandma.
Has it started?
As we return back to action here in San Pablo, Deanza with a commanding lead, 41-14. As Nicholas Mesmer, the freshman, takes over the quarterback duties. He's under center. Contra Costa shows blitz. Mesmer having a hard time with the handoff, and it was fumbled and recovered by number 21 for Contra Costa. That's Anthony Holmes. And that's the first turnover of the game for Deanza as well. So each team has had a turnover this afternoon. You can see here there's trouble with the snap as the freshman tried to pull out a little too early. The ball is recovered by number 21, Anthony Holmes. So Contra Costa takes over their own 25-yard line. 7:11 remaining in the fourth quarter. Lee Quick screen. Complete and ran out of bounds. And that's Jake Narian with the quick screen. As you recall, the last offensive possession, Lee was intercepted by Darrell Carson.
3-yard gain, 2nd and 7 at the 28.
So 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line. Lee. And he will be dragged down and sacked by number 41. And that's Dominic Powatawa with the sack. So Powatawa with the snack. You see here, gets inside rush, and Powatawa with the sack. 3rd and 15. Riley rolls to his right. Penalty flag, throws it downfield, and that will be picked off as well. That's the 2nd interception by Darrell Carson. As you recall, he missed one earlier, but he has not missed the last two. And an ill-advised pass by Riley Lee. And that's his second. That's his second turnover of the game. 2nd interception. That's his 10th interception of the year for the freshman Riley Lee. So Deanza will take over on downs. The 2nd turnover on consecutive possessions for Riley Lee, both to Darrell Carson, the freshman from Hayward High School in Hayward, California. After missing the first opportunity, he's come right back. In the last 2 possessions, picked up 2 interceptions. 6:04 remaining. Comets trail 41-14 to the visiting Dons. And there's a penalty as well. So the game is getting somewhat sloppy now.
Number 70, offense.
A false start for Deanza. If you're Deanza at this point, you have to be pleased over the fact that all 3 phases of your offense, well, all 3 phases of your team has worked well this afternoon. Outside of the 1 turnover, and that was by a snap by the freshman, number 13, Mesmer. They've been pretty flawless this afternoon. There's a running play to number 34. That's Axel Rodriguez, a freshman of Valley Christian in San Jose, California. And that will be a loss of 4. So it will be 2nd down and 19 for Deanza on their own 44-yard line. Mesmer in the gun. Hands the ball off to number 25. That's to Andrew Adur from Homestead and Cupertino. So a lot of the freshmen now are getting opportunities to play. So it will be 3rd down and 14 at the 49-yard line. There's a man down for Deanza. So while they tend to this injury, we'll step away. We'll be back to San Pablo right after this.
The new McCafe Cold Brew Frappe and Frozen Coffee. The strong, smooth taste of cold brew coffee, ice blended into a rich, creamy drink. It's colder than cold brew. And now get any small McCafe for only $2.
Welcome back to San Pablo. The injured player was number 58. That's Isaac Alapai, freshman from Hawaii. So 3rd and 14. 5:10 remaining in the fourth quarter.
3rd and 14 at 40.
Mesmer in the gun. Drops back to pass. Steps up in the pocket. Throws it up and broken up by number 43.
Knocked away by
That's Kyrie Hall. Has pressure. Forced Mesmer to get rid of it early. And they will result in a punt. As you can see, Mesmer back to pass and pressure up the gut by number 65, and that's Joseph Bay. And he was able to force Mesmer to get rid of it early, and it was broken up by number 43. That's Kyrie Hall, as we mentioned earlier. Back deep is Quadri Wesley, and the ball will be downed inside the 10-yard line, and that's where Contra Costa will take over. So there's another unsportsmanlike penalty. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Looks as though it's going to be on a Contra Costa player.
Back to play. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 65.
Number 65.
Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty first.
And that was against Joseph Bay, and
15 yards and first down.
Coach Pat Henderson was not happy. He was asking Bay, why would he do something like that? Trailing by 17 points, or 27 points.
correction penalty was on Contra Costa.
So Contra Costa would take over inside their own 5-yard line. The last 2 possessions for Riley Lee has resulted in turnovers. Interceptions to number So Lee Darrell Carson had those 2 interceptions. 26. Lee hands the ball off, and he will be dragged down. That handoff was to number 10. That was Cato. Zay Cato was brought down. Wow, big hit. The Anza bench was excited about that. So this is where Lee has to be careful with the football. Can't afford a turnover here. 4:18 remaining. Comets trail 41-14. Sends a man in motion. Bad snap. Brought down. And the ball is fumbled, and so a bad snap. Moody winds up getting it. The Comets appears to have recovered it, but a bad snap. Moody actually caught it on the deflection from Lee, and as he was tackled, the ball was knocked out and recovered by Contra Costa. So 3rd down and 5 at their own 9-yard line. 3:34 remaining in the game. Lee sends a man in motion, fakes the fly sweep again, hand off to Harvey over the left side, and he'll be brought down. And we'll see where they spot it at. See if Contra Costa is able to get a 1st down and keep the sticks moving. So the officials are huddling up. Let's see what this call is going to be.
Block in the back.
We have a block in the back by number 15.
Replay, third down.
And that's Kyle Jarvis. So it will be half the distance to the goal. So third down and long at their own 9-yard line. So that wiped out a first down. By Harvey. So 3rd and 9 at their own 5-yard line. And Lee is getting everyone in the right position as the play clock was running down. Coach Pat Henderson decided to call a timeout to regroup because they can't have any mistakes here this deep in their own end zone, trailing 41-14 to the number 1 team in the conference. The De Anza Dons coming in with a record of 2-0. They're tied on the top of the division with Yuba College 2-0 as well. Foothill 0-1. And Contra Costa will see Foothill here in a couple of weeks. Contra Costa 0-1 as well as Los Medanos. And they'll see the 0-2 Los Medanos Saturday at Los Medanos, a 1 p.m. game. As I mentioned earlier, De Anza travels for a non-conference matchup against Monterey Peninsula, a 6 p.m. start.
Also upcoming, we'll have basketball starting November 14th, and then we'll face youth college game time 6 p.m.
So 41-14, Contra Costa. 3rd and 9 at their own 5-yard line. Lee in the gun, receives a snap, rolls to his right. Throws it downfield, has a man open, and overthrows his receiver. But he had Moody streaking down the right sideline, but overthrew him. And so now it will be 4th down, and Contra Costa has to punt deep in their own end zone. And that will give De Anza a short field to work with, already with a commanding 41-14 lead. So as we mentioned earlier, coming into the game, Contra Costa defensively gives up 45 points per game. And De Anza has the opportunity to reach that number. But the score really doesn't indicate how the game really went, because Contra Costa was in the game throughout. At 3 and outs, they were in the red zone several times, but penalties derailed a lot of those drives. And at some point, a team as good as De Anza will take advantage. And they switched the tempo by bringing in number 5, Eduardo Andrade. And he changed the tempo of the game. And when Contra Costa was able to get the game to 24-14 at 3:35 on an 80-yard touchdown from Lee to Jackson, it looks as though De Anza went into a second gear. And they just rattled off 27 consecutive points. There's a problem with the handoff again. That's Mesmer, and he'll be dragged down. But as I was saying, at one point, it was 24-14, and Contra Costa was well in this football game. You can see there's the trouble with the handoff. Mesmer didn't know whether to hand the ball off or keep it. He decided to keep it. And he had a host of navy blue jerseys to drag him down for a significant loss. So a 2nd down and 15 at the 42-yard line of Contra Costa. 2:20 remaining in the 4th quarter. Mesmer hands the ball off to number 25, and he scampers across. Nice gain. That's to Andrew Adur from Cupertino, the freshman out of Homestead High School, 5'9", 165. So it will be 3rd down and short. 3rd and short for De Anza. 1:40 remaining in the game. Mesmer in the gun hands the ball off again to number 34 this time. And that's Excel Rodriguez. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage, so it will be 4th down, 1:23 remaining. As you can see here, the handoff. Contra Costa did a great job of identifying the run. And it was Bill Mayfield with the tackle. So 4th and 2. De Anza will go for it. Hands the ball off to Adore again, and he will be snuffed out and stuffed. So it will be Contra Costa ball turnover on possession with under 1 minute remaining in the game. Bay Area Sports TV would like to thank you for joining this afternoon for this American Pacific 7 Conference matchup between the visiting Dons of De Anza and the home team Comets of Contra Costa. October 19th, we'll be back on the air at 4 p.m. Women's College Volleyball. Mendocino versus Contra Costa. And on the 27th, we'll be back here on the campus of Contra Costa for the Foothill Owls versus your Comets of Contra Costa for a 1 p.m. conference game. It's a handoff to Kidd over the left side. He has the room to run and be brought down after a 1st down. So a nice game by Kidd. Clock stops. 1st down in the college game. Contra Costa gets back on the ball. Clock is running. Lee moves Kidd to the left. Lee in the gun. Hands the ball off to Kidd again. Makes a couple of men miss. And he will be dragged down. But there is a flag by the linesman, Stephen Young. And that looks like that will be some sort of hold. 23 seconds remaining in the game. And Stephen Young throws his flag. And we'll see what Jerry Robinson has to say. And indeed it is a holding. And that's Guillermo Sierra with the hold. You see Kidd, room to run, makes a man miss. Nice game, but to no avail as it was pushed back by a hold. So 23 seconds remaining in the game. Comets on their own 38-yard line, trailing by 27. Lee back to pass. Throws it downfield, and it is incomplete. Underthrew number 18. As Tyreek Owens has. He had a step on the defender. Covered by DJ LaShaw, who's been all over the field. Again, the sophomore from Sierra Vista, Las Vegas. But the man of the day defensively has to be Darrell Carson. Pretty much drilled any opportunities for Contra Costa with 2 consecutive interceptions from Riley Lee. They weren't able to score and pretty much put this game out of hand. This should be the final play of the game. And it's passed to Jackson on the screen, and he ran out of bounds actually with less than 5 seconds. And the officials say that's the ball game, and that is the ball game. Comets on the short end trail and lose today at home 41-14. De Anza improves their record in conference to 3-0, 5-1 overall, while Contra Costa falls to 0-7, 0-2 in conference. The player of the game this afternoon, I would say it has to be number 26, Darrell Carson, who had 2 interceptions this afternoon, was able to come away with the player of the game. We'd like to thank McDonald's as one of our sponsors for this afternoon's game, Bay Area Sports TV. I'd like to thank our producer, Tim Banks. My name is Joaquin Wallace, and we'll be back in 2 weeks as Contra Costa will play Foothill College here at 1 p.m. But today, Contra Costa on the short end. The first place De Anza, 41-14. We'll see you in 2 weeks when Contra Costa takes on Foothill College. VallejoSportsTV.tv.